been an experience of amazement to me.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. Welcome back, everyone, to Insights and Straight Talk. I am Rodd Duff, and I wanna start today with a question. Okay, listen up. What if artificial intelligence isn't really the story? What if the bigger story is access? Hold on to that. Because for most of my life, starting a business required something. Money, employees, specialized knowledge, connections, maybe an office or a storefront, expensive equipment, or simply being at the right place at the right time. I spent more than 3 decades in business, and I can tell you there were things we spent thousands of dollars on and countless hours doing that somebody sitting at a kitchen table with a laptop today can accomplish in an afternoon. That's an extraordinary change. Think about it. But here's what I want to know. Does that actually mean an ordinary person can build an income with AI? Not somebody in Silicon Valley, not somebody with a bunch of venture capital. I'm talking about a single mom. We were just talking about this with Zahid backstage. I'm talking about a single mom who needs another, say, $500 a month, or the 50-year-old whose industry is disappearing. The young person wondering if college is really the only path forward. This is big. The small business owner trying to compete against companies with marketing departments bigger than their own company, their whole company. Or somebody sitting right here in a small town like Mangum, Oklahoma, wondering this: is there really an opportunity for me in this new economy? That's why I wanted today's conversation. My guest, Zahid Muhammad, founder of, Kanzia. We'll correct that when I get back in. I had it and I lost it. He's also an entrepreneur, an AI educator and trainer, and somebody who has built his work around helping people understand how artificial intelligence, e-commerce, Shopify, digital tools, and entrepreneurship can create new economic opportunities. But here's the thing: I'm not interested in spending the next hour simply talking about the latest AI tools. I want Zahid's story. Who was he before any of this worked? What did he get wrong? What failed? How did he build a business? When did AI change the equation for him? And then we're going to do something that's very practical. We're going to imagine somebody watching us right now who has a laptop, an internet connection, very little money, no coding experience, and needs to create income. Zahid, what do they actually do? Where do they begin? How do they find something another human being would be willing to actually pay for from them? And perhaps most important, if everybody eventually has access to the same artificial intelligence, what separates the people who succeed from everybody else? Because maybe the future isn't really about who has the best AI. Maybe it's still about something much, much older. Curiosity, judgment, trust, creativity, relationships, persistence, and the willingness to actually do something with an opportunity that's sitting right there in front of you. So that's where we're going today. No hype. This is no promises of get rich overnight. And definitely no 5-minute theater. We never do that. Just a real conversation about AI, entrepreneurship. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. Entrepreneurship, online income, and whether this technology can genuinely create new economic opportunities for ordinary people. Zahid Muhammad, welcome to Insights and Straight Talk. Tell me your story, my friend.
Thank you so much, Rod, for having me. And welcome, everyone. You have a great audience, and I'm very happy to be on your show. So my story is, quite interesting for 9 to 5 people. I come basically from corporate tech background. So it was almost 8 years ago when I was working in a tech company, cloud computing company.
8 years ago?
8 years ago, approximately.
Gotcha.
And I was kind of, frustrated from my full-time job, all the politics, and I realized, this is not like something for me, and I don't want to do it, for my whole life. And I took the most difficult decision of my life. I resigned without knowing what I wanted to do with my life. So after I got out of, my corporate job, I got a plenty of time available. And what I was looking for is exactly what you explained: a laptop and an online source of income. And why I was looking for, because I wanted to buy by my time. I wanted freedom, I wanted financial independence, and I wanted to work on my own schedule. I wanted to travel around the world, and I realized like this is something that I can achieve if I become an online seller. And I saw one business model that was Amazon FBA back then, and I started learning about that. It took me approximately 1 year to make first.
Wait, hold on. You said Amazon FBE?
FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. So this is
okay.
This is a business model. We will talk about that more in detail.
Okay, yeah.
We do two business models. One is Shopify, like something that you explained already with AI, and then there is another business model which is FBA, and I will be happy to explain the differences between both business models. And it took me approximately 1 year to hit $10,000 in pure profit from my own online store. So this was my turning point, because this was exactly I was looking for. I was not looking for to become rich or set up multiple companies. The only thing back then I was looking for a continuous stream of income, so that I could live without my paycheck and I could do whatever I wanted to do, right, with my life. So after I hit $10,000 in pure profit with one product I was selling on Amazon, and I realized this is a huge business. This is a big industry. I became confident. I went all in, and within a very short period of time, I was able to scale my stores to 7-figure in sales. So this was,
Do you mind me asking what was that first product that you decided?
I launched multiple products and I failed. So the first product was a small washing ball. So that was an alternative to, washing powder. It was for very specific group of people who have, allergies against, the washing powder smell. So it was a very niche product. And I found that product and I realized this product is for a specific niche. I can produce this product in China for 10 cents approximately, and I can basically sell this product around $15. And after paying, all the cost to Amazon, shipping, fulfillment, everything, I was making around $6 per product per sale. But the formula was to sell in, hundreds and thousands of quantities. So that is how e-commerce works, right? And after I made, that first 10K, so it opened a lot of opportunities. And I realized I can make money outside my full-time job, and I don't need to be dependent on someone else. And from that point on, everything changed. I scaled my stores to multiple 7 figures. I started selling on Shopify as well. Then I went to into another business model, which is called dropshipping, where we basically don't need to acquire any inventory. So anyone can do it without any money. So we can also talk about that. And from that point on, everything changed. So fast forward almost 8 years now, I manage 3 companies. I have a coaching platform and an education platform as well, which is called Consia. I have my own e-commerce brands, and I teach.
Anzia.
Yeah, and
Anzia. Sorry for destroying that. I'm
that,
having issues today. Go
that
ahead.
that's
Anzia. That's
yeah, that's completely fine. And I teach, like I teach to 9 to 5 people, common people who don't have any background in technology. They don't know how to code. They never built a business before. They don't have a university degree. They don't have access to, like VC money, but
right.
they have a motivation that they want to make some side income, or they want to live off their full-time income, which is e-commerce, right? So this is something that I do. So I teach normal people, common people, how to build an online.
The great American middle class. That's who you're talking about.
100%. It's exactly, it's exactly my audience. People
Yeah.
who have, like some sort of income already, like they saved up some money, but they cannot take big risks because it's scary, like you cannot leave your full-time job. Yeah. So that is how it
I'm
is,
right there.
like, yeah. So it's scary, like, because this is exactly what you said in the introduction session. So in the past, it was, like when we wanted to build an online business, we wanted to, like hire people. We needed an office, then a designer, like a secretary, like set up a business, like all these registrations. But AI and platforms like Shopify, Amazon, they changed everything. And now we call these businesses micro businesses. What exactly is a micro business? A micro business is a business that is making anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000 in sales, and only one person is managing that business. And this person is not having any office, he is not having any employees, he is managing everything from a laptop. In most of the cases, this person is traveling around the world as well, because he is enjoying the lifestyle, because he's not dependent on his salary. He is making a couple of $1,000 every single month from his own online store, and basically utilizing platforms like Shopify, Amazon, and then using AI tools. Now we have AI, and this person is a micro business owner. And this is exactly what I teach.
Yeah, there's probably, by the way, there's almost 400 people in the audience right now. But what you just described is perfect, because that's a great place to start this conversation. Because I don't think there's probably a lot of people that don't even have heard the term micro business. You always think small business, and that's the mom and pop, or but really small businesses are millions of dollars. It's actually much greater scale than the average middle class person thinks about. So what you described there in micro business is awesome, because it's interesting, the new economy. What I'm calling, right? Everybody's calling this a new economy because everything's changing with AI, and it's changing fast, and it's coming at you. And I made the point, at the end of the day, though, you still have to have those other things. All AI is doing is allowing you to compete in a world you couldn't have competed with before, or even have any concept of how to put it together. It takes money to make money, kind of thing. This new economy isn't necessarily that way, is it?
No, I mean so this concept changed, and why it changed? Because what exactly AI changed? AI gave common people access to tools that were only available to big companies. So we had AI, like since 20, 30 years, like IBM, all these big companies, like they were
Well,
using
not only
AI
that, but Google is actually the original public AI. Google is right, isn't it?
Yeah. So
go ahead with what you're saying.
So what exactly changed, like in the last couple of years, like 3-4 years?
Right.
So the change is anyone can make an account for free on Claude or on ChatGPT or on Grok.
Yeah.
Write a couple of prompts without knowing anything. This is exactly, like the transformation. And common people have access to AI tools, and these AI tools can do the things so quickly and at a speed which was not, like possible before. I can give you quick examples. So when I started selling online, it was approximately 8 years ago. Because I am in e-commerce, whenever I launch a new product, I need to, like get a video for my products. That video I can use online. That is a kind of an explainer video. What I used to do is, like hire a model for, like for a product, or hire
Right.
hire, like get a studio, spend $6,000-7,000 just to make, like a small video for one product. So this was the standard process, and everyone was doing it. Now with a $20 tool, I can make hundreds of videos that I was getting in $6,000-7,000. So this dramatically reduced the cost of launching an online business.
The quality probably went up too, didn't it?
100%.
Between then and now.
Yeah,
Then and now.
100%. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think initially, like these AI generated videos, like they were not of good quality, but now we
Right.
cannot even, like understand the difference, what is AI and what is non-AI, right?
Yeah.
And I think at some point, people, and I see already, like people stopped asking these kind of questions, like what is AI, what is non-AI. I think smart people are asking these questions. How can I use this AI to make a couple of $1,000 on the side? Right.
Yes.
So this is exactly what people are asking. And this is exactly what smart people are doing. And going back to your, introduction remarks, if there is so much AI, like what exactly are successful people doing? So AI tools are there. There are a couple of other aspects as well. You need to be smart enough so that you can find your niche. You need to be, like consistent enough so that you can go through the whole process, right?
You
So
still need the skill sets.
100%.
AI doesn't make your personality. It doesn't make who you are. You're just using a tool now. And that's what people don't think about. Let me just add to this the key point right now. I have one of my granddaughters just turned 2 a little bit ago. On her first birthday, I was at their house. They live in Texas, just over the border from here in Oklahoma. And my son's wife's mom and I were chatting across during the party, and Brandon was just teaching me AI, and we got in, and I thought how fascinating this stuff was. I've been doing it about a year now at my granddaughter's birth. So he was teaching me ChatGPT. That's where he started me off at, the free one, and there's both, right? I've started to use Claude a little bit, and that's kind of a cool little thing too. But when we were talking, I said, "What do you think about this?" She goes, and she's roughly my age, right? I'm 64, but she was like, "I don't want anything. It confuses me. It scares me. It's obvious she doesn't. She wants to just not even explore it because she thinks it's too complicated. We tend to make things in our mind more complicated. And wait, now don't get me wrong. It's not like everything's just easy, right? You know that. But starting getting used to it, writing a prompt, you don't know it, just write a prompt and see what it does with it. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
100%. So let
fun
me,
too.
let me explain a couple of things here. So the biggest beneficiary of AI tools are people 60 plus, and I can explain why.
Whoa, really? I like it. I like it.
And-
Like
and-
what,
and-
for emails and scheduling stuff kind of thing,
For-
memory or something?
For everything, and
kidding.
there are specific reasons why. There are specific reasons.
Hey, Brandon, get your mother-in-law on. She needs to hear this. Go ahead.
The reason
my
is
son.
because these people are not all of them. I'm not talking about, like everyone, but most of these people, they are not tech savvy. Like a young person can, use a lot of tools which are non-AI. The young person can write a code, like also use all the AI. But these 60 plus people, they are not tech savvy. And what ChatGPT or Claude can do for them, ChatGPT and Claude can build the complete business for you, right? From product research to like marketing, for content, for SEO, everything. And I see like a lot of people in my community who are 60 plus, and some of them, they are retired already, or they were forced to retire because the new technology is replacing these people. And the interesting thing is, the same people are using these AI tools and they are making money because they have been pushed out of that, like the traditional economy, and they suddenly realize that they can learn these things. They can invest some time, they can learn these things. It doesn't cost much. As you mentioned already, you can use the free chat gpt version as well, like, or maybe you can pay $20, like it's basically nothing, right? And
it's $20 a month. It's just it's like having 3 people working for you.
100%.
Yeah. And the more you use it, the better it gets, the better it learns. Right?
And you suddenly realize, like you have a designer, you have a copywriter, like you have a content writer, you have an assistant.
Absolutely.
And if you can use, like if you can spend a little bit of more time, you can, like also build these AI agents inside ChatGPT, and then you can also do, like the complicated things as well. So this is a whole different new world that did not exist before. And that is the reason why launching a new business now does not require that much investment.
Let's do something for Rob here, because we're kind of in that newbie, and he looks like he's in my group here, my age group, and I can attest to exactly what you just said. But I like the way he worded this. First, he said, by the way, if we get comments, I'm going to want you to read them. With questions, I'll want to probably set it up a little bit like I'm doing now. Great show. How can beginners identify the best AI opportunities? So what we're talking about right now is basically 60 years. And I'd go as far as 45, maybe 50 years and up is where you were describing. The 40 and 45-year-old and down, they're born with phones in their hands. There's a gap there with that. They're right. I mean, but how can beginners identify the best AI opportunities without getting overwhelmed? And I think the last part of that is where a lot of people are scared. Because you can get over. It's like learning French, or German.
Yeah,
or something.
I think that's a great question. So
it is a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question because there are so many AI tools and everyone is teaching something, right? I think, like, first of all, so I am an AI educator for e-commerce because that is how I make my money, right? And even in e-commerce, we have, like Amazon FBA, which is with products that you buy in advance, or there is another business model with Shopify, which is called dropshipping, where you can basically sell products without buying these products in advance, which is an online arbitrage model. So I'm going to talk about, like these two opportunities. So I think like the first starting point.
Hold on. Okay, so to get started, so that's really the difference. The Amazon one is you're storing a product, in your garage or in your office or something, and the Shopify one is dropship. Those are the same potential products, but different ways they operate. Yay? Yes.
That's correct. Just to explain here, people who don't have any money, they cannot like invest anything. They take the drop shipping route because they only buy the product after they get an order. So basically they buy the product from the same money that they get from their customer, right?
Sure,
and this is basically risk free. So I'm going to talk about like some of the opportunities, the best AI opportunities in e-commerce, in drop shipping. So I will make it simple for you. So you don't have any money, no problem. You have a laptop, you have ChatGPT, and you have Claude. So what you do is, first of all, you find best-selling niches that you can sell with a drop shipping store on Shopify. And why do you need to look for niches? Because I always tell people riches are in niches. If you want to make money, you need to find niches. And what are niches? Niches are small products that can solve small problems. So something that I explained already in my introduction, that
So
I, I spotted, like a product, and I realized, like people have problems with the smell of the washing powder, and like this is for people who are allergic to like the traditional washing powder, and that was a great product. I was not trying to solve like big problems, but I was trying to solve small problems, and that is why people were paying me. So I will make it simple for you. You go on ChatGPT, you take the free version of ChatGPT, and you run a couple of prompts. And I tell you, like the prompt here as well. You run a prompt. I am new in online selling. I want to make money online with Shopify with dropshipping business model. Tell me top 10 best selling niches where I can sell these products in 2026 with AI. You simply write this prompt. After you write this prompt, ChatGPT is going to give you a couple of suggestions. You will see pet products, you will see home items, you will see kitchen items. You pick up one niche. Let's say you want to sell pet products. You pick up one niche, which is your main category, and then start, like exploring more, start researching more. Find out specific problems in pet. For example, anxiety problems for dogs, right? So then you need a like a dog vest, or some other like eating disorders. These are specific problems. Or like a small water bottle, or like a water container, or like a food container. And then you start asking AI again, what are the top trending products on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook in these niches? Like these are simple questions, but now you are working systematically. What you are trying to do is you are trying to find small products that you can sell online. And after you have like 5 6 different products available, what you can do is you can go on AliExpress, which is a platform where you can buy these products, and you can build a Shopify website on shopify.com, which is also free, just $1 every single month, and you get a subscription for 3 months. So this is kind of like basically a framework.
wait,
So
Shopify.com
is
$1 a month.
Shopify.com is $1 a month. They give you they support small businesses.
Wow.
They give you a platform where you can build the entire business, and they give you an offer for 3 months. For 3 months, and you pay just $1 a month.
Wow. And then it adjusts from there and so forth. But you
yeah.
get your feet underneath you.
Yeah. After 3 months, you pay $39, but by that time, you are also making a couple of $1,000s already if you stay consistent and if you work on this as well. So
Yeah.
and I think like this is the important point here. A lot of people get it wrong. So something you explained earlier, this is not a quick rich scheme. Of course, this is not a quick rich scheme.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Actual business.
It's an actual business.
The rules apply. All the same rules
yeah.
apply. And I want to stick Dirk in here because he came in earlier and we started talking about this. But the AI tools that you recommend learning first online income, that would be the Shopify.
So if you can,
am I understanding his question correct?
Yeah. So Shopify is a platform. So inside Shopify, we have different AI tools. We can build different, products. Yeah, we can integrate. And then we have 3 top AI tools: ChatGPT, Grok, and Claude. So we call it an AI tech stack.
Hey,
and
let's talk about those 3 for a second. Are they better for different? Like I heard Claude's better at learning, telling your story, speaking in your voice, kind of. Do they have different?
Of course,
are they different?
Yeah, I can explain the differences.
Okay.
So Claude is more. So I use all 3. So Claude is more for like content. So it writes like great content, and it can do a lot of different things as well, depending upon. It can also write code, but I see like Claude is really really good in writing content. And then on the ChatGPT side, I see we can get great design. So they introduce a new feature where you can basically make pictures of your product. You can simply write a couple of prompts. For example, you found a product for pet for your dog. You want to sell it online. You write a couple of prompts and ChatGPT is going to give you all the pictures that you can use on your website. This is great. And on the other side, if you go on Grok, it is very analytical. It can look into all the numbers. It can tell you how many percentages you can have, like, is it 30%, 40% margin points on one product if you launch? How big is the industry side? Like, if this product is going to be successful, and then Grok provides the whole analysis. So I tell people, like, start experimenting with these 3 AI tools and then build a website on Shopify using these AI tools, integrate a couple of apps, a couple of products. And then for marketing, you can use some other AI tools as well, like Google Gemini. You have Google Nano Banana that you can use to create, like, videos.
What do you think about Gemini?
Gemini is a great tool.
It is
one of the best tools because it got all these integrations like
Really?
Google Nano Banana. So the program that they have.
What's Nano Banana? What's that?
So Google Nano Banana is another plugin inside Google Gemini that can actually make pictures for your product. So this is basically a designer tool. It is your like in the past we used to have like designers for our products. So it is basically like a designer that can create all these nice graphics.
Wow. Okay. So now, is it better than ChatGPT's? Because Chat does a pretty good graphics thing too.
I use both of them. Both are good. So in Google Gemini, we can actually create videos as well. So which is not yet available in ChatGPT. So you can you can write a prompt and then you can create, like a 20-30 second video that will showcase you the whole product, right? The complete video.
No kidding.
Which is amazing, by the way, right? So
that is amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So the Google Nano, is that a Nano Banana? Google Nano Banana?
Google Nano Banana. Yeah.
And is that that's obviously a pay service, but again, probably not that much money, right?
No, you can still use the free version. It gives you, like a couple of videos, but again, like it's a couple of dollars every single month. We are not talking about thousands of dollars.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. It's like cheaper than buying a coffee every single day.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to me. Elon Musk. I don't know if you're a fan or not, but Elon Musk. I have seen some of the things that he talks about. He's an interesting guy, right? I mean, if you're the richest man in the world, you think differently. But he predicts that eventually, within 30 years, that people won't be forced to work, that AI, robots, and automation are going to be bringing the cost of, and we see it, what we're talking about right now, the cost of goods and services to be coming down so low. And now with the ability, the economy's changing. It's that, and people who aren't reacting to it are going to get caught up in it eventually, I believe. But he says that at some point, the true what would you call it? Utopia, the true utopia will arrive, in that you really don't have to. You can still work, but you don't have to. Does that make sense to you? He
100%,
said,
yeah.
He said it won't be inflation. The only worry will be deflation. So you agree?
I agree 100%. And what is the reason why I agree? Because I see now. So I think like the traditional path we had, like in the past, like get a job 9 to 5. So I see like people now are having multiple streams of income, and they can decide how much they want to make, and they can decide. I'm not talking about like just e-commerce. So there are so many other forms of income, like online with AI. You can become an AI educator as well. You can sell, like designer products. You can do, like marketing. There are so many things that you can do. So I think like there is a difference between building a business with AI and understanding how to do it. So I give a simple example to people who are getting into this. We are not at a stage where we can write a prompt inside ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to make $10,000, and after like we wake up in the morning, the $10,000 is in the bank account. We are not there yet, but we can absolutely. It will take some time. So this is coming in approximately
It's
20.
not printing money. You don't tell it to print money out by printer.
No, no. So we need to make these models better. We need to make those models autonomous. But we are at a stage already where we can ask ChatGPT, I want to make $10,000. Give me a framework and give me a time, let's say 1 month to 2 months, and tell me the exact same steps and tools. And then I use these tools, I follow these steps, and I make the first $10,000. So we are there already yet. But the other thing, which Elon Musk said, that like there will be so much money and so there will be so much abundance in future, the AI tools will be capable to build businesses on their own and make money for you.
You know, that's where I think people at that point, where you're talking about now, is where people envision some of the scarier movies that we've seen in sci-fi over the time, where the robots and the AI are going to fight back, you know, and go against the human. One of the things I have in the, by the way, there's almost 600 people on. That's awesome, dude. We've almost been going 40 minutes. It's gone by really quick. I love this conversation. But you also have to be responsible, and there's no need for comment or whatever here. But as we go along, there is that concern in the back of people's mind. Where's the guardrails? You know, and if enough common people, the great American middle class or the great middle class, if not enough people go after this, and only big corporations or certain people, then the advantage we have is lost because it's wasted. Let me ask you this. In your answer, Russ here's got a great question. First of all, he says, what a timely conversation. Obviously, absolutely. What's the first AI skill recommend learning today? For me, my son said, start ChatGPT, just start writing emails with them, or what do you think is the first? And then how do you see the responsibility of AI and people's usage and making it not go
Yes.
to rails?
Yeah, I'll add two other tools with ChatGPT that are similar. So ChatGPT plus Claude plus Grok. So if you use these tools on a regular basis and you can master these tools, you will have no problem making money. Period.
Let me ask you, so I've got chat pretty down. I told you it's learning a lot about me, and so we're becoming a better team. Does Claude and what was the other one you said?
Grok.
Grok. Those also have to learn about you too, don't they?
Yeah. So it's like
Takes a little time.
every business model. So every AI model is, like learning. So the more prompts you write, the more
There you go.
information.
Say that again.
The more prompts you write, the better your AI tools, like become. So, for example, now I use ChatGPT for everything. So, in some cases, I don't even tell ChatGPT the whole thing now. So I just give like a small prompt, and then I tell ChatGPT, you have all the history of all my like prompts, and then give me the results that I actually need. So let me tell you something. At this point of my life, my ChatGPT knows me better than my own mother, and that's the reality. That's the reality.
That's a big deal right there.
And it's a bit. And why? What is the reason? Because I talk more to ChatGPT as compared to my mother on a regular basis. She doesn't know about my business problems. She doesn't know about my business, opportunities, right? Because I don't discuss everything with her. Like that, the time difference and all these kind of things. And that is a reality, which is scary, by the way, as well. But we can use it in a positive way. And I think like so, because if we train the model in a way that we use the model positively, it is going to give us all the positive suggestions, right? So you have to train the model. You have to train the model. You have to train the model in a way that it is not, like a yes man. It gives you, also some of, like the straightforward feedback, some critique as well, analyze. And then what I find fascinating, if I am not satisfied with ChatGPT, I take the same results what ChatGPT is giving me and I put it in Grok or I put it in Claude.
Ah,
And then I let the other AI tool counter check this, and I tell, like, is this something which is really possible or can this be improved? You can do this as well.
wow.
So
Wow.
I let one AI check the result of another AI.
That is yeah, I'm gonna start I'm gonna take some of your advice right here because I've always I just never paid attention. Now I've started to use Claude a little bit because I've heard so many things about it. Um, and I just thought they were competing, which they are, but they aren't. And they're all free. So I like what you're talking about there as far as how that how that how that one can check the other. And what these are, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they're agents, right? Well,
Yeah.
they're really the agents that work for you. And
Yeah.
just like you would have to train somebody coming up, you would have to onboard a person in your business that's costing you 20 to 100 bucks an hour, whatever that skill set is. Now you're training this, but that is also learning you. Where if you're training a person, it's a different relationship. It's almost like AI agents are just solely their whole mission is to give you 100% of what you want, and they can change the tone of something. They can, you know what I'm saying, right? You just tell them, okay, now I want you to create this title or this description, and I want it done in this type of voice. When I have people come on, I sent you a StreamYard letter. I call that the Nanette Styles StreamYard letter, and it already has, and it'll pull the show information over and the time and all that, and it just spits it out. But you know how much time that's I'm one person that runs the show, and I'm doing it all by myself with one tied hand behind my back until I have agents. Now I got 15 hands working for me. That's fascinating to me, and very inexpensive. Very inexpensive.
Yeah, and that is why, like I tell people, I see like a lot of questions coming up here. People are still, I think, sometimes they don't understand how big of of how big of an opportunity this is.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I tell this all the time on every show. We live in an age where anyone and everyone can make at least $10,000 every single month using a couple of AI tools, period. And doesn't matter if you want to launch a service or you want to launch a product, find one niche. It can be e-commerce, it can be drop shipping, it can be, like a
A
marketing service,
service.
anything. It can be podcasting, like it can be a live show as well. Stick with that, learn, experiment. You can easily make anywhere between 10,000 to 15, $20,000 in pure income, in pure profit,
Wow.
using these AI tools. And you don't need to, in most of the cases, you don't even need to leave your full-time job. You can continue doing whatever you are doing, and this is your supplemental income.
Now you even gave an example or one of them where the AI will create the job, the company, and will produce the company for you, and you don't really need to be involved. Did I pick up on that right?
Yeah. So we are heading in that direction where
Right,
basically,
right.
so what exactly, and I can see this coming because I give you simple examples. So these AI tools do certain things for you. For example, I have trained my Chat GPT on finding me products on a regular basis. So I gave, like
So it
hundreds.
continually goes and looks and
It
searches.
continuously, it is working nonstop. It is working non-stop. So I have
Okay, I get
programmed,
that.
yeah, I have programmed it in a way that it is giving me, like notifications after every hour. Like I need something, it is searching, like specific countries, it is searching specific platform. So this way, like the AI tool is already bringing the results, and then there is always a human being in the loop. What exactly this human being is doing? This human being is taking decisions based on the analysis, based on
The human beings doing what? Making decisions, did you say?
making decisions. Yeah. So making decision
Which way to go?
which ways to go. For example, if I want to launch this product, yes, I want to launch this product. And then the human being is taking decision. I have different AI agents that are running my ads. And then I tell these AI agents how much money you want to spend on a specific product per day. So I am the human being in the loop. That means I have integrated a lot of things inside Shopify. So the products are being searched from ChatGPT, from Grok, and then, like sometimes I integrate these products myself, or I use AI, like an integrator, and then I let the whole thing run, like on its own, on an autopilot, and then there are ad campaigns running. So in a way, we are already at this point where these AI tools are doing a lot of things for us already. So they are basically setting up the whole business. But still, so the example that I gave earlier, that if we write a prompt in ChatGPT that make me $10,000, and I wake up in the morning and that $10,000 is not there, but ChatGPT is already helping me enough that I have that $10,000 by the end of this month, right? So we are there already. So I think we, as a human being, I would love to, like use this in a way that I also stay involved, because this also brings me, like some, like happiness, joy as well, because
Absolutely.
because I also need
Oh,
some kind of, like engagement, right? So that is the
yep.
best part of it, like if you have money. So that is the same thing why, like every rich person is working harder, like why he's, because it's an accomplishment, right? So you have
Yep.
more goals. So I think this is the human nature, like, so having money does not mean that people will stop working. And what Elon Musk talks about, he talks about abundance. And why he talks about, because he is behind all these inventions. He sees
Yeah.
he sees the possibilities. And as a small user of AI, I can see, like people can solve small problem. It can make as much money as they want, which I call, like a micro business, anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000, without any employees, without having any office, without 9 to 5, working on your own terms, and basically figuring it out, like small income streams, simple income streams.
All you need is a laptop, internet, and desire to stay regular, right? Now, some of these that I'm gonna go through a couple questions here, and I think we've already gone through them, but one thing I like to do, this is their time too. I mean, they're coming for a reason. They obviously want to be here. We didn't force them, but it's also they're spending their time. So I like to at least read everybody. Some of them are a little duplicated, but can you just add a little bit more color between the layers, I like to call it, for Tony, for instance? What's the easiest AI business idea for complete beginners to start with? And really, the way to do it, and you'll learn while you're doing it, is just create a simple prompt in any of those ChatGPT. That's how you start, right? That's where you start.
Yeah. So I think like the easiest and simplest is start an e-commerce business with Shopify dropshipping. It doesn't cost you anything. You use the free version of ChatGPT. You use for 3 months Shopify.com. Use their platform. Launch a couple of products. Learn how to market them. Make money online. Make your first 10K, and then basically scale up from there. If you can make the first 10K, you can make also the first 100K. If you can make first 100K, you are not going to stop there. You're going to make the first million as well, right?
Yeah, you're just scaling it.
Yeah. Because then, there is another world, which is opening up in front of you. And then you keep learning.
You know what blows me away about it now that we're kind of working along. Hey, by the way, do you know a program called Obsidian or Codex?
Yeah, I know Codex. Yeah.
That's I created this thing called My Second Brain. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
And I put everything in there, and it creates this like cool image, but it ties everything together And so doing research through this codex is fascinating. I just learned this stuff the other day. My son told me about it.
It's
You
a
know
great
it,
tool.
right?
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Is. So what I was going to say there, what's fascinating to me about it is I'm actually getting a lot smarter. I know I'm biased here, but I'm really learning a lot of things. I was never much of a reader growing up or any of that, even though I'm a writer. I wasn't. But the research capabilities, you mentioned this earlier, just what is the best product to go look for. But what it also does, it goes out and it tells you legal stuff. Hey, I have this question about this. What? And I say, go scrape the internet, and it pulls all that information and gives me an answer. And then, like you said, I think it was, which one was it? I think it was Claude. No, it wasn't Claude. It was Grok, I think. You said is very analytical. So if you ask it questions about, will this work? Here's the data I know. Here's what it'll and tell me everything you can find. You get so much smarter, and those synapses start, because you're doing new things, start growing over here. You actually become a little younger. I feel this way, and it seems to be that way. And my mind is sharper than it ever was before. I was never a stupid person. I ran a business for 30 years, but you can feel it. I mean, this AI thing it's fascinating beyond. And then you're making money on top of it, and the more you get involved in it, the more you. My son, my 40-year-old says we're all kind of living in. What was that movie? The Matrix. And it feels like there is so much more knowledge out there that this is introducing on top of it. Now we've already answered Cody here to a beginning, but you want to add to this as far as how you would express my experience that I'm just you've been doing this 8 years and you grew up with more technology than I did. Obviously, you're a young buck, and I mean a buck. Can AI help somebody build with no technical background build a profitable business? We know that the answer is yes. And can you just expand on that briefly?
Yeah,
so comments here I want you to leave too.
100%. So, and I will explain, like with reasons. You can write a couple of prompts in Claude, inside Claude, or inside Chat GPT, and it will design the whole website. Or you can go on Lovable if you want to set up a website, which is also a tool. With simple prompts, you will get the website ready. So, and it can also develop you apps.
Let me ask you this. Can you fix a website with one of these? Because I've got a website I've gone way past. Everything's blowing up, but the website's it's crap.
Let me give you a straightforward, like framework. Copy the link of your website and put it in Chat GPT. Ask Chat GPT, do an audit of this website for me and tell me what should I improve.
Chat GPT is the best one?
Yeah, it is going to give you, like the complete overview, what exactly are the things that are missing there, and it will audit, like everything. It can basically also look in the backend code as.
Yeah, like in the WordPress.
Yeah, in the WordPress. Yeah.
Will it actually go in and change it though?
You can, of course, you can change it, and also what you could do is
you have to follow the directions.
Yeah, you have to follow the direction, or you can go on Lovable. So, and you can build a complete website there with just prompts. Lovable is another tool.
How do you spell that?
Lovable. Loveable.
Loveable. Okay. Lovable.
Yeah.
.com. Okay. And that does what now?
It can build you a complete website with just a couple of prompts. So, right, you write a couple.
It'll actually build it, and
it will actually build it. Yeah. So you get the whole website. So you don't need to change anything.
My problem is my website's called Rodd Duff, my name. If I build a new one, I can't get that same website, obviously.
No, but like you can still use the domain, and then you can connect the domain because WordPress is just a platform. It is just a platform. You can take the domain with you. And
interesting.
ask ChatGPT, I have this problem, how to solve it, and it will
Yeah,
give
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
the exact
I was planning on doing that.
exact same steps.
All right. So, great insights so far. How can an ordinary person? I think we already talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I can also add a couple of things. So you need to
Yeah, it's a
find,
great question.
yeah, you need to find one niche. Like there are thousands of niches there. So I made my money, like with e-commerce, and this is exactly what I teach. Find one niche. It can be drop shipping, AI drop shipping, sell e-commerce products online on Shopify. Find these products with ChatGPT, with Grok, with Claude. Like use a Shopify platform, make money, like sell anything, like pet products, home items, kitchen items, and basically build one income stream. So this can be just one example, and there are like thousands of income streams that you can do with AI.
Yeah, and again, asking the prompt through the prompt, asking the technology to give you feedback on what's best for you. And what's cool, we were talking about it gets to know you, right? Through that back and forth, that interaction, it's learning about you and your preferences and your tones, as far as how you want, like writing something in a direct tone or a very friendly tone or a little flirtatious tone. It'll build all that in. But as you're doing it, it's awesome how that just keeps improving. God, imagine 10 years from now what all this is going to look like. I used to say 30 years from now. The Industrial Revolution was the last thing that people, all this that we live with today came out of. This is like, AI is like the Industrial Revolution on steroids times 10,000, because this is changing the world like the Industrial Revolution did, but much quicker. And really, it's going to change it forever. I mean, I don't even know how to strongly say it enough. So would you read this right here from Rob? He had that question earlier about when the first person to ask about starting off when you're new. I like guests to read the statements, and I'll take care of the questions. There's like 4 or 5 statements here in a row. Would you start off with Rob's statement here? Read out.
Yeah, great insights and practical advice. Keep it coming.
I think we can do that, can't we?
Yeah, definitely. And
All
then
right.
we have
Danny.
Danny with us. Thanks for another valuable insights and straight talk episode. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. And then Tony, she made a comment earlier.
Yeah, so Anthony says, loving this conversation. Great job, Rod and Zahid. We love that, Anthony.
This audience is unbelievable. So Lenrick asks here, what's the best way to use AI without you? Here's the big one right here. Without losing the human connection with customers. That's a valid point. It's a valid point.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what I mentioned earlier. Human being in the loop. So even if you use AI, I think at some point, if there is like a complicated decision, so that should be left for human beings. Something that I mentioned earlier, like in the end, a human being is taking basically the big decisions. AI tools are like facilitating. They are working as your employees, and at the end you decide like which product to launch, like how much to spend on marketing, and then the same way for other complicated things as well. For example, if you are dealing with a complicated customer matter, if you want to give the refunds, like if the refund is a couple of $100, you will be deciding. So leave small things for AI, use these tools like as your employees, and then take these decisions in the end yourself. Yeah,
that's exactly it. What's the I'm sorry, we already went there, but you had said, as far as the human connection, you need to be in there and make that decision, the bigger decisions and so forth, which product to go, whether to give it a refund or not. In the business where we're not at this next phase where you just have the AI start a company and then and then continue to roll the company, and you really don't have anything to do with that. How is there still a human? Is that role that you just described with the human making the bigger decision, or is that at a point where the AI gets to a point where it knows you already, and it would act like the president of your company and maybe not tell you everything unless something's going upside down or something, right? Is there that in there?
We are at least in e-commerce. We are not there yet. So
You said that. We're not there yet, but will
yeah.
it get there?
It will. I think I genuinely believe we will get there. We will get there, and this is exactly the thing that Elon Musk is mentioning, that there will be so
Right.
much, like there will be so much wealth created. The work will become, like an option. People will work because they will have nothing else to do, because like if you have because if you have everything, like you have money, you have everything, you have all the resources, what else you do, like, so how much fun you can have, like.
Right.
Yeah.
And the pride of accomplishing stuff still doesn't go away.
Yeah. So I think like this is exactly the basic needs of human being, because we want to accomplish something. We want to solve complex problems, because there will be so much wealth, and there will be so many resources, and we will have bigger problems, like. So we are already talking about, like putting factories on the moon, and then people, like living on Mars. So I think these are the bigger problems that are coming, and then human beings will be solving, like bigger problems.
Yeah, we're way closer to that last thing that you just said. Not just Mars, but the moon as well. Because what's the whole concept? Go to the moon, the base is there, and that's how we get to Mars, back and forth to Mars, because we're outside of the atmosphere. Things happen easier, right? So, and you already see that kind of thing coming along, and how about, let me ask you this. Where's going to be that? I used to say 30 years, how will AI be looking in 30 years? There's no way to tell that now. It's more like, how will it be looking in 1 to 5? Now the years are 1 year, 5. That's what you're asking about. Where do you? I've got on my show, I've got a playlist. One of them's called several playlists. One's called The Jetsons Are Coming. Do you remember the cartoon back from the day, The Jetsons?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, well, they're here, and they're get in their flying car and go up to the restaurant for dinner, or they go to work, and it's all in the sky, right? It's not neighborhoods, but traditional, the way neighborhoods work. But we're like flying cars and all these different things. Where do you think the big, in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, do you think there's going to be a shoot where you don't even recognize society in a good way anymore? What do you think? In 10 years, you won't recognize it? Is it 30 years? Is it 5 years? And this is all a guess. I'm not putting no gotcha moment here or anything.
Yeah, I think like I differentiate this with like the physical infrastructure and then the intellectual infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
So let me give you an example. If I go back, like 10 years, I already don't recognize anything, because so did we ever imagine that we will have a tool like ChatGPT or Grok, or like, so I think this is already fascinating, like it's already different, right?
Good point.
And then we come to like physical infrastructure, which is like all these buildings, like flying cars, and like so did we think that we will have internet beamed to our like living room from satellite? Like, so we never imagined this, and we see this happening already, right? And these are like basically the things which is basically the physical infrastructure. And then we have the intellectual infrastructure. The intellectual infrastructure is all these tools where we can write all these prompts, like we can get help. So for myself, everything already changed. I think then we can like fantasize this, like if we will have like these kind of science fiction, all these kind of things, we are already there. But because we see this gradually, because it didn't happen overnight, right?
True,
but if
true.
if we bring a person who lived in a cave and he came outside after 40 years. For him, everything changed.
Yeah, it'd be yeah. That's a good way to put that. It would be a complete master shock, to say the least. So Papa Lynn's here's got a great question. Do you think e-commerce beginners can gain real advantage by using AI? The obvious question is yes. I want to flip that around on this question now. How I'm let's say people 50 years and older. It's probably the best way to, well, anybody, but people 50 years and older. How much? Let's say 50 years and up. How much disadvantage will they be in 10 years if they sit with that lady wanting to stick her head in this air? How will life become more difficult for people who aren't using it? Small business owners, pick either one.
I think it became already difficult for people who are not evolving, who are not using AI, because we see every day, like headlines, 40,000, 50,000 people are, being laid off because Microsoft implemented, like a new system, and then we don't need these people anymore. And what exactly are these people doing when they go, when they don't have full-time jobs? How long they can sit idle, right? So eventually they need to upgrade. They need to upgrade their knowledge. And here is a classical example that I give to people. I tell people we are living in an age where hundreds and thousands of people lose their jobs because of AI. And the same group of people learn AI tools and launch small businesses, micro businesses, and make money online, right? So here is the thing. So they are being fired because of AI, and they are using the same AI because they don't have any other options left. They have to upgrade themselves, and then they are launching those small businesses, or like launching small income streams. And I think the wise people are those who are already starting. They are already interacting, they are building. Even if you make like $500 on the side, so this is already an achievement, because you don't stop there if you make $500. Because I remember when I had my first sale online, I was so happy. I thought I achieved something, and that was the real happiness, because what I achieved, so that was not about a couple of dollars I made. I actually figured out a system. And that is the exact same way, like for anyone who is making money with AI tools online. So forget about brick and mortar, because that is expensive. Once you figure this out to make a couple of $100, you don't stop there. You continue growing, you continue learning. And these are the people who are basically, like the biggest users of AI.
I think this done right, this could change the way people look at rural America as well. I mean, talk about shoring up an area of the country, where the next town over for me here is 27 miles away south. And then there's the Texas border. You can't, its town is getting smaller and smaller. It's going through depletion, as a lot of rural areas do. But this AI, the digital economy, can literally change rural America into where you can bring businesses eventually. Because right now, brick and mortar, even if we tried to bring brick and mortar, a larger company into this town, which that's where you get tax base, right? For making improvements and so forth. But now you're putting an extra burden on the water, the sewer, to a degree, the electrical grid. And these are all, we're talking about a small town that needs to create infrastructure for brick and mortar. I'm talking more for a factory in this case, but that whole changes. Everything changes with this potential, not only in the future, but we could start doing that now. We don't have to build infrastructure in order to do this. We can, put things into the library here. Do you think? I don't think we have two more questions here. We've been going an hour and 15 minutes almost. We've got how many? We got 547 people in the audience, and this is the kind of we ought to, if you don't mind, I'd like to keep in contact, in touch, because this is the kind of show that should be done a few different times, maybe. I'd love to have you back. I'd love to bring you back on if that makes sense for you.
I'm happy to do that. You got great audience, and I love these questions, and I love sharing my knowledge. Right.
This is awesome. By the way, this one here, I know this guy. I used to work with him in the plastics industry. He lives in Michigan. He owns a very large brick and mortar company. They build equipment. Mr. Bradley, how you doing, buddy? So why don't you read what he's saying here?
Yeah, Bradley is saying, excellent live show. AI is definitely changing the game.
Yeah, and I could comment on it in a second, but I can vouch for that too, because like I said, I know him very well. I used to represent some of his equipment, but he even years ago used AI in their website to create digital images. You talked about of their product. It's not actually a picture of their product. It opens up and expands and does some really cool stuff. But yeah, AI is definitely changing the game, isn't it? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. So 100%, so I think, so I will come back to the other point that we were just discussing here and link what Bradley just said. I think we live in an age where we can make money from anywhere. I think so. And let's talk about, like the US. We talk about, like the inflation, high cost of living, like all these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can make money without location, you don't even need to live in a specific place. Keep traveling, right? So live in Bali or live in Thailand, or like where the costs are low. Like go to like East Europe or some other parts of Europe as well. Like if you cannot afford the rent in New York or in Miami, why do you want to pay like $3,000, $4,000 rent if you can earn money online without living in a specific place? And I think this is basically the shift. So the shift is location independence. The shift is time independence. The shift is controlling the way you want to work. The shift is getting out of this traditional 9 to 5. This is not valid anymore, right? That does not work. So for people like us, I don't want to be controlled by someone who is telling me, or a company that, like show up every single day at 9 a.m. and then you are working until 5 a.m., 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And then your, like income is capped at 10% of your performance. No, because I see my potential is bigger than this one. I want to control my time, and I want to control how much money I want to make in a certain year, right? And this is something which is possible, and that is exactly what Bradley is saying. Like AI is definitely changing the game for people who didn't have access to set up businesses in the past. Because we understand, like you want to set up an online a brick and mortar business, like you need $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and then you are inexperienced, and maybe the first business that you are building up is not, like a successful business. And if that is not successful, then you lost everything, right? And on the other side, with AI, you can test simultaneously 3, 4, 5 business models, right?
Ooh, good point. I like that. Go ahead.
So you are investing your time, right? Time is, of course, a money, but that like, so you are not losing anything because you are learning at the same time as well. And out of 4, 5, 6, 7 business models that you will try with AI, it is guaranteed, because this is the nature. So this is the law of the nature. If you stay in the game long enough, if you don't quit, you will become successful. You don't give up, right? So you will become successful. What is the reason you will become successful? Because out of all those experiments, you will figure out something that is going to make you money. You will launch 5 products, 6 products, 10 products, 6, 7, 8 can fail, 2 will pick up,
Yeah.
and that will pay for everything that you need.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so much, and that's the thing. Business always has the same responsibilities, the same requirements, uh, as far as the person side of it. You need to show up. You need to be continuous. You need to be able to make decisions. None of that changes. All it does, really, at this point in time, what it really does is it opens up the door, another door, to the great American middle class, to being able to make income and or compete with the larger companies already out there, because you have this tool. Now they have it too, but it puts you on an equal playing field, to be able to compete. And that's all a person ever could ask. A business, an entrepreneur, or even somebody who wasn't, but says, I'm a single mom and I need to make $500 more a month. I got my kids here, I got to do something. That's often a motivator to create a great business opportunity, isn't it? That need itself. I take my copy and pasting job very, very judiciously. So I think I did a good job at copying and pasting here, didn't I? Did I do my job okay?
Yeah. So this is the YouTube link for my YouTube channel. Let me. Okay.
There's
So
your
yeah,
meetup there.
yeah. This is the meetup. So let me explain for your audience. Because this show is general.
Please,
So
yes.
we talked about a lot of different things, and obviously, like the next question people ask, like what exactly is the framework, the whole process, the whole framework. Don't
Yes.
worry. So I'm going to show you. So the link for my meetup is in the
Oh wait, the meetup?
on the meetup
That
is
one?
on the screen. Yeah. So we have 16 meetups in 16 cities in the US. So these are all virtual meetups on meetup.com. And these are 100%.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean by 16 different locations?
So we have,
If they're virtual.
they are virtual because we make it easier for people to, like join, because on meetup.com, if you are searching for Miami, then you see the group in Miami. If you are searching for New York, and then it is just easier. So we set up 16 groups for 16 cities. People can join with a laptop or from a phone. This is 1 hour class where I start from scratch with an idea, with a couple of prompts, and I show the whole process. I find best selling products. I apply AI tools, all the tools that I mentioned here. I share my screen. I show everything that I do to build an online business. And by the time we finish, we have a fully functional store ready. And I also teach people how to do marketing. This is 100% free. We don't sell anything in these courses. We don't ask you, like to pay us any donation.
It's
This
once
is
a month?
100%. No, it's very often. I got 3 other people. It's 3 to 4 times a week.
Oh wow. Okay.
We do
It's
it.
the same. You just choose a different business and
We choose different products. We choose different products. We choose different niche. Like we answer all these questions, and then like
I gotta come on that.
we repeat all the time. So anyone can join. You go on meetup.com. This link is having, like 16 groups. You can pick up any group. You can join there.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. So you pick up any group. You live in in New York. You pick up, like the New York meetup, or join, like anyone you can join. Like even if you live in New York, you can join the Miami meetup. And in this meetup, I will show you everything. And I bring examples of people like yourself, like common 9 to 5 people who are making that much money online. If we say, like $10,000, then we show a store as well that we recently launched that is making $10,000, and some bigger stores as well. And also the products, like, because again, so these things are not secret. So there is nothing secret here. The formula is simple. The AI tools are accessible to everyone. But 90% of people, they don't go through the disciplined effort to set it up. So that is the basic difference. They don't have that mindset available.
So in these meetups, am I setting, so I go, let's say I go, I assume you don't have an Oklahoma group. So say I go to New York or Florida and jump on one of these meetups. Are we setting up together side by, in other words, you're setting something up and we're in the class following you or just watching you? And is it live?
It's live. It's 100% live. So we do the live sessions.
Nice.
Yeah. And what I do is I present. We have 3 other people from my team. They also present. We explain, and then we do live Q&A. People can ask questions. They can
Like
ask
we're
us
doing
anything, like we are doing here, and they can
By the
ask
way,
questions.
do you know this person?
I don't.
They're from your side of the line. I just noticed them. I see the link there.
Okay.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Go ahead. I just didn't know if you knew them.
And these people can actually, so here people are just, putting comments.
Same thing, right?
But in our community, they can talk to us because we are also
the little screens. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because it's
better.
It's a webinar tool, so we allow them
Gotcha.
to talk to us. They can ask us questions, and they can ask.
Are they setting up while the class is going on, or just learning?
So this is basically learning.
Okay. Gotcha.
And on my YouTube channel, what they can, I'm gonna
and Instagram there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the YouTube link here again. So this is the YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, what these people can do, they can watch these recordings again, and we have different courses like for AI. We have AI tools that we use to build our business. And these people can watch all those recordings and basically build an online business. So this is exactly what we are building. We are building it up for our community. On meetup.com, we have already 8,500 members within a couple of months. And I became the most followed person in e-commerce category in the shortest period of time because I do a lot of meetups. I teach, on a regular basis, how to build an online business. And I do it 100% free.
So the meetup, is that like on a
it's
Discord
a platform.
It's
like a Discord. It's a platform which is called meetup.com. So
so like a school, SKOOL.
Yeah, it's like something like that. And
Okay,
then and there are different communities there. People do meetups, there are also communities, different communities. People meet for different reasons. We do educational meetups there.
And why do you offer these for free? Because it's obviously extremely valuable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. But why do you do it for free?
Yeah, it's basically building up the community. So 1% of these members hire us and contribute towards 99% who are learning for free. So it's a win-win situation for both sides. People who got deep pockets, who can afford companies like us, they pay for our programs so that we share this 100% free for 99% people who cannot spend anything.
What a beautiful world.
Yeah.
Because it's more and more there's coders out there that are coding for free, and all the ChatGPT stuff. The world is slightly changing. And I don't know that it's becoming any better yet of a world, society-wise. But there is a lot because people are really liking to do these codes. It's an interesting community. The kids that are involved in, I call everybody a kid now. But that's an interesting community because you talked about when we talked about Elon Musk and eventually people won't have to work, but they will want to because they take pride in accomplishing something. These coders are built that way a lot, and there's tons of them that do it. Things like you, because 1% can supply the 99%.
Yeah,
and they see the value in that.
yeah,
Right?
that's a whole model. For I pay $20 for Chat GPT, right?
Mhm.
Because I can afford that, and I understand that I am getting more value than $20, right? But
Yeah.
that also not all the users of Chat GPT are paid users. There are like millions and millions of users. They never pay
Oh,
a
okay.
single
Okay.
dollar, right? So that
Okay.
is
Yeah.
how like the whole concept
Okay.
works. So of course we are in a business. For us, having a community is also strategically like important. Obviously at some point you also want to give back. It's not like we don't look at this like as a pure like that 1% must like cover the cost of like 99%. We also invest our own time. We are basically building the whole infrastructure around
Makes
like a
sense.
community aspect. And
That
to be honest, you cannot do it if you are not passionate about it. And I do it like 3-4 times a day. You cannot go get on a call like this and talk about like something that you are not passionate about. And
100%.
like and you so I'm passionate about this. I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe that entrepreneurship lifts people up. And I believe with AI, anyone can build a business, anyone can make money online, because I have been there. I have been doing it for 8 years, and that is why I teach this.
This has been exactly, I've been very excited about this because I'm very interested in it. One, we already said I want to stay in touch and have you back on the show because my audience is just gobbling all this up. Obviously, I'm asking great questions, and you're streaming out to your own audience as well. But I this is important for me because I get it, and now you're helping other people to also get it. And we're doing that in a sense here today together. So that's that pride, that's that helping people cross that bridge into the new world, so to speak. Is there anything that you want to leave these? I can't believe this 500 plus people. Is there anything that you want to leave with them until we do the next show together?
Yeah, 100%. I will be honored to like to come back on your show and once again, and basically like talk about the whole process as well, and maybe we can go in more detail, which products people can pick up, which products like which niches people can launch. But I think like on top of this, I think that the most important thing I would like to share here, we can, I will talk about your audience and my audience as well. We can go to these kind of shows, we can go to these kind of talks, these kind of webinars, seminars, like 1000 times. But if we don't take the action, nothing is going to help us, right? And what exactly is the action? The action is pick up one niche. My niche is dropshipping, Shopify, e-commerce. Make your first online store, make your first sale, and learn the art of marketing and learn the art of product research. Set up your first store, go on shopify.com now, make your first account. It is 100% free for 3 days. After 3 days you pay $1
3 months. 3 months.
for 3 months. Yeah. And
Gotcha.
then you pay like $39. So it's very like easy. Anyone can get
Jesus.
started. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would this be something? Sorry, I know this is your you're leaving a comment, but you get me excited. I want to maybe start selling some. I don't know if this makes sense or not. Yeah, maybe it does. Selling some what do they call it? Not bling, but the shirts or hats. Insights and straight talk. Is that something that might be a good niche for, or that's not niche though, right?
No,
Is that a different model?
no, you can make it niche because you're a podcaster, right? So you have
Right.
already a niche, right? So what you can do is you can sell these specific, like hoodies or caps,
There you go.
like you build a theme around this, like, so if it can be a niche as well.
All right. All right. Go ahead and finish your thought. I'm just trying to think about different ways to really take more advantage of what we're
Yeah,
doing.
for example, like you have like t-shirts printed with some specific, like, let's call them, like, make money with AI, or like AI is accessible. I'm giving you a couple of examples here. Or brainstorm together with ChatGPT. Ask, I want to sell merch with
Oh,
Shopify. with
Hey, look.
Shopify. Yeah. I want.
Hey,
So
this is another guy from my old plastics
yeah.
industry.
Okay. Good.
Read,
Yeah.
read what he's saying there.
Yeah. You got your first customer already.
I think I do.
Okay.
So, Matt, let's do
Yeah.
this thing. Tell
Yeah.
me what you
So
want.
let's
Go ahead.
let's sell merch, right?
Yeah.
And that's another way of, like, and I think people will be happy to contribute back, because this, you are contributing value as well, right? So you are giving hope, and people, they will be happy to, like, buy this merch, because they understand, they would like to, like, support your cause, support your mission as well.
Empowering the great middle class, one conversation at a time.
This is a
On a
great,
t-shirt, right? Huh?
this is a great message. This is a great, and I think specifically, like, this middle class is the backbone of this country.
It is 100%. Absolutely. I mean, you look at both the financial and the industrial, any civilized country, really. I won't say every country in the world, but at least every civilized country, it's the middle class. They used to call us, oh shoot, the old cast, the old. God dang it, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. But anyway, yeah, we're the backbone of this country, of any country that has an industrial base of any sort.
Absolutely.
All right, my friend. I cut you off a bunch of times in your closing statement, but do you want to leave anything before a big wave fly by? And I'll wrap this up in a little bow, and I'll meet you back in the green. You didn't touch those peanuts, right? Didn't M&Ms?
No.
Yes. I'm okay, Barbie. I get in trouble. People do. So do you want to? I cut you off so many times. You didn't really get to leave a final thought. Do you want to add to what you were saying, and then I'll wave and I'll meet you in the green room?
I think, like, my final thought is, going back, we live in an age where anyone can make at least $10,000
Yeah.
with AI. And if you are not there yet, you should be learning these tools, some of the tools that I mentioned. So pick up any niche, pick up any product, experiment, and make money on the side before it is too late. Because if not right away, within a couple of months or a couple of years, your job is definitely going to be replaced by AI.
And it's going to be a whole different way that the world looks at work, because there will be work out there. If you can train trainers, right? I mean, it's just the whole. There's a shift in what's happening. Why don't you give everybody a big wave, and I'll see you in the green room in a second. Did you hear me? Give everybody a big wave, and I'll see you in a second. All right. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Zahid. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. That was everything I was hoping it was going to be. But again, thank you, because I think today's conversation leaves us with something much bigger than a conversation about artificial intelligence. We talked about AI, of course. We talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about building income online. Yeah, right. We talked about e-commerce, opportunity, technology, and what one person can potentially accomplish today that might have required an entire team, really not that very long ago. But underneath all of that is a much bigger question. What happens when access to opportunity changes? I think sometimes we make artificial intelligence unnecessarily complicated. Don't get me wrong, there are moments in there, but I think we overanalyze that. I think we make it more complicated than it really is. We hear about models and algorithms and automation and agents. We talked about a lot of those today. But whatever, and we hear a lot about every new tool that comes out every morning, right? Which one was released this morning? And ordinary people start thinking, this is not for me. Maybe that's the mistake right there, because you don't necessarily have to understand how an engine was designed to learn how to drive a car. Stay with me here. You have to understand what it can do, where you want to go, and how to use it responsibly enough to get there. And I'll keep coming back to this, the person sitting at home watching this. Maybe you're 25, maybe you're 65, maybe you have a degree, maybe you don't. Maybe you live in New York City, maybe you live in Mangum, Oklahoma. Maybe you already own a business, or maybe you've never considered yourself as an entrepreneur in your entire life. The question isn't whether AI is going to change the economy. It already is. The question is whether those opportunities will belong to only the biggest corporations and the people who already, excuse me, have the advantage. Hold on, somebody else just came in. Somebody's checking in from the Netherlands. Wholesome Moments. Thank you for being here, Netherlands. We're just wrapping up, but you can catch us on the, unless you were all here the whole show, you can catch us on the playback. You know, people have already have the advantage. That's the part I was talking about towards the end there, because it concerns me that if you add people who have advantage, have AI making the advantage more, and then the ordinary person not having the advantage, you fall further behind. Or whether ordinary people are going to learn how to use these tools too. That's what both of us, Zahid and I both, were getting through. And Zahid, I think you've given us something important to talk about or to think about. AI may make certain things easier. It may make them faster. It may make them cheaper, but it still can't decide what kind of person we're going to be. It can't manufacture trust. It can't replace persistence, you know, and it certainly can't make us take the first step. Zahid said this multiple times during the show. You got to take that first step because the world's changing and you can make money doing it. That part is still ours, taking that first step. Maybe that becomes the real competitive advantage in an AI world, right? Not simply having access to artificial intelligence, but knowing what to do with it. And maybe the people who win in this next economy aren't necessarily going to be the people who know the most about technology. Maybe they'll be the people who remain curious enough to learn, human enough to build trust, and courageous enough just to begin. And you know the question I like to leave people with. If you've seen any of these shows, you know what's coming next. When was the last time you were curious enough to change your mind? Maybe today it's worth changing our minds about who gets to be an entrepreneur, who gets to compete, who gets access, and what an ordinary person might actually be capable of building from the kitchen table with a laptop and an idea. Zahid Muhammad, thank you again for joining me and for bringing this conversation to our audience and to yours and to everyone watching and listening. Thank you. Thank you for spending this time with us. I'm Rodd Duff. This is Insights and Straight Talk, empowering the great middle class, one conversation at a time. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on the next conversation. You know why? Because I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.